Welcome to the grand finale. This is another Meta Weekly where Jax Leo again is in the grand finale. The Sprite Runic deck got hit a little bit by 3 Runic cards being semi-limited, but Jax Leo's deck actually just got better because now he's got Fusion Destiny at 2. Let's begin.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Add in the boots, normal summon. Before the boots, inherently special summons. We do want to max C. We got the Ashe for that. So when's the best time to use Ashe against Jax Leo? Let's bring up Jax Leo's deck. We could bring up a Burning Abyss, Dante, and we'll look at the Phantom Knight Burning Abyss deck. Generally, a good negate's going to be on the Rusty. Rusty does a lot. If you have Impermanence, is even better because it would negate the effect to pop your own monster, which would trigger its effect to summon 2 level 4s in the field. Don't worry about that though. Now, Benny's going to send a level 3 monster from the deck to the graveyard. We have the Scales after the banishment of a Phantom Knight to summon itself from the graveyard onto the field, discarding a card to send a Phantom Knight from the deck to the graveyard. The Ragged Gloves will then banish to send a Phantom Knight card from the deck to the grave, which will be a Phantom Knight Trap, which could reborn a monster from the graveyard. Leviair is going to special summon a banished monster, and generally with the Leviair, you're going to be expecting a UDF monster negate, so be ready for that. The Graph is going to be summoned off of the Sir, and because it was summoned to where the Benny's pointing to, it does not get destroyed. That's going to be Link 3. This is where the Ashe comes into play. Ashe, right there. Yes, very good. It's kind of, this is like the branded Fusion choke point in a way. Now, does it completely stop him? No. He's still going to cook like you didn't even do it. The Fog Blade's going to banish from the graveyard, summoning the boots. This will at least be a Leviair into UDF. And can we also get into an Anaconda DPE? Yes, we can. The Greaves will be special summoned off of the Ragged Gloves, and then now that could be Anaconda, and this is UDF. Perfect. We have Monster Negate. We don't have Fog Blade in the graveyard, though, but we have boots that could banish to search for it. We're going to go Break Sword. So it's better to do Break Sword before Anaconda because Break Sword, if properly summoned and in the grave during the opponent's turn, you could banish your trap to summon the Break Sword to where the Rusty's pointing to pop a card in the field. Resummon as level 4. And that's it. We're going Anaconda. We should have non-targeting monster pop, monster negate, plus if we get the trap in the graveyard, that's going to be pop a card in the field. It should be 4 disruption. We'll see. Yep. Boots banish, set Fog Blade. DPE could pop the Fog Blade after negating with the Fog Blade. That's 3 disruptions on the field. The 4th one will be the Fog Blade in the grave summoning the Break Sword. What? He ending his turn. Ending. End phase. We're in the end phase. Okay. What the heck? Valor Ashe. And it's like, I'm not playing through 4 disruption. All right? I can't do it. Come forth. DP. Yeah, he knows that he'd lose anyway. Not even Ashing. Not Valor, not Ashe. Just, please, put me out of my misery. Jax Leo, you're too crazy. Torn Scale off of the banishment of a Phantom Knight trigger into effect on the grave to come forth, and Shokan into Dante, mill 3. Dante with the Bro Fist, mill and 3. Didn't even trigger Sir to summon the Benny. It just like that. Lethal damage with Utopic Draco Future, able to negate any hand trap that he would attempt to even use. Oh boy. We're in for a grand finale. Make sure you buy the structure deck and don't craft anything in this. Do not craft Signet Mining. Signet Mining is used in Mathmech. You gain so much value from the structure deck. If you buy this at 3 and you don't use any other cards and you learn the deck, I promise you, you could get at least Platinum as a brand new player. And then to get Diamond, you would probably, want to be adding some staples in the deck. So, you can click on any of these cards like the Wolf, and then you could see the breakdown of how Salamangreat's being played. The deck, I would say, maybe you could play Mathmech in it, but some people don't. And you'll see Samir's version at the end of the tournament. So something like this, good for new players. All right, let's go. Circular Sending Diameter. We already have Sigma in the hand. Sigma gets banished if it leaves the field, so you do want to exceed with it. We got Super Factorial, which will be able to send a card on 2 cards in the field to the graveyard, plus a card in the hand and an Omni Negate. We got the Ash Mate. What are you even negating? I already got the Super Factorial. I got all 3 materials in the grave. This search was, you know, kind of a debate, actually, I would say, yeah. Protected Gazelle from being negated. We are going to go into Bailing, sending the Salamander Great Roar. That's kind of like searching it. So by getting the Roar in the graveyard, we now want to add it back to the hand or set it on the field. We're going to be triggering the Parallel Exceed after a summon of a Link monster is pointing to where the Parallel Exceed could be summoned. It turns into a level 4, then summons another Parallel Exceed into a level 4. Shokan into Splash Mage. Splash Mage can reborn a non-link from the graveyard, and we're going to use the Gazelle and the Bale Links into the Sunlight Wolf. Wolf of the field spell could summon Wolf over Wolf, which could trigger the trap in the graveyard to set, or we could use the Wolf to add the trap in the graveyard back to the hand, which will be able to negate anything. Heat Soul will be able to draw every single turn at the cost of 1,000 life. Grab the Gazelle if you summon to where the Wolf is pointing to. Drawing into a Ghost Ogre. We already had one. We can't use more than once per turn. And if we use the effect of the trap to set itself, it gets banished when it leaves the field. So instead, we're going to add it back to the hand so that we could use it more than once. This is insane. Negate anything, as long as we have a Salamander Great Link on the field, and also destroy. The Super Factorial will send from the field a back row monster and a card from the hand and have an Omni Negate. The Ghost Ogre will be able to pop any monster that activates, and the Heat Soul will probably draw into another hand trap. A full Burning Abyss hand. Oh my. Special summoning Lebic, Heat Soul, drawing into Maxi. Super Factorial, come forth and summon. The Ash cannot stop this. I swap up the scores. My bad. I screwed this up. Okay, Laplacian. Laplacian is here with the Omni Negate. Send from the field in hand. Goodbye to Ash. Goodbye to the Sir. And now we can still special summon Farfa. No, you can't because I negate. Negate. The Farfa special summon. We did use up our normal summon. 0 summons left. Wow. Rip. Did not even use his Omni Negate. Didn't even use Maxi. Didn't even need it. Will Ash be negated by Salamander Great Roar? Definitely not. The Gazelle sending a card from the deck to the graveyard. Not a big deal here. We're going to go right into Axis Code Talker, targeting the Link 3 to boost up to 5,300. What? Now, if Lebic is dealt with, Lebic could summon Farfa. Then if Farfa is dealt with, Farfa could banish a monster until the end phase, which we could negate with the Roar if we want to. Or we could Transcode Talker, make our Axis Code Talker untargetable. Nothing to target. If you're co-linked, can't be targeted. Lethal damage, double attack as long as you did not use your Circular. Circular would make it so only one monster can attack. All right. Scales, discard, the Danger. Jackalope's going to summon from the deck, and you're going to get Max C. But we got Cross Out Designate for the Max C. Impermanence. What's crazy about Impermanence is you could use it more than once. You can Ash more than once. You can't Max C more than once. You can't Ogre more than once. So with our double Impermanence, what do we want to do? Imperming Rusty is double benefit. The Rusty wants to use its effect to send a Phantom Knight and set one, but also use its effect to pop the Break Sword to summon 2 level 4s in the field. So that's double mess up, double benefit. So be ready with that. We're going to use the effect of the Scales in the graveyard off of the Banishment and the Cloak to search for the Boots, which could special summon onto the field. Levy Air is going to summon a banished monster by detaching. Using a negate on that when we have an active Boots in the hand. I mean, you know we got Boots, okay? I don't know. Maybe Imperm on Rusty and Imperm Anaconda are the 2 best Imperms. Because now you're going to negate Anaconda, he's going to go into Rusty. Yeah, it's like exactly what I said. It's, well, looky here. The 2 cards that are very good at Impermanence. Negate. Now, if he could have set up UDF and also Anaconda Rusty, that could have been a well, wait, UDF doesn't stop Impermanence. Well, you just wouldn't care. Yeah, you definitely, I think, should have negated these 2. DPE. Non-targeting, monster, or back row pop. Pop any card on the field. How do we deal with that? Surely, we have circular. We could cook through this. Non-targeting monster pop. We have Fogblade monster negates. No hand trap, nothing in the grave. We're going to be sending Sigma. Sigma, special summon. If we wanted to, I'm not saying we should have, we could have popped the circular before the Sigma comes out so it would not be triggered, it would not be searching. And we're also not negating it, grabbing the super factorial for next turn. This could be a great negate. Beautiful negate. Fogblade Mate. Stop him from searching for Diameter. Diameter would summon a monster from the graveyard. We do not want to deal with that. Beautiful. Committing to an Exceed and then making it useless. But we're not done. We only just begun. We're going to grab a Spinny. Spinny and Parallel Exceed. Get ready. Why not Gazelle send Spinny? Interesting. Gazelle send Spinny. Wouldn't that be better? Spinny come forth. Did not trigger the Parallel Exceed. He's waiting on Parallel Exceed. If you activate Parallel Exceed, you could chain the DPE. So very well played, actually. If you Parallel Exceed early, DPE will pop the monster, and then Parallel Exceed does not summon. Now we have Destruction Protection for Balinks. So Balinks from the graveyard will banish to protect, and your Parallel Exceed will go through. All right. Let's go, let's go. We are now going to link this off into Splash Mage. This is a maybe pop, but we're not popping. We're going to reborn a monster from the graveyard that's a non-link. We're going to link them off into Heat Soul. Heat Soul, we draw on every turn. And now we're linking this off into, is that a third Balinks? Yes, it is. Balinks number 3 into Axis Code Talker. Access the codes. Gonna get boosted, chaining Gazelle. All right, we're going to pop the Access Code Talker. Now, this is non-targeting. So even if we set up the transcode talker, it would not have protected it. I don't think there's any way we really have protected it. We'd have to force DPE before going into the access code talker. We're going to link this off into transcode talker. Transcode reborn a link 3 or lower. Reborning Heat Soul. All right, let him cook. Battle phase we go. Big enough to wipe out the field and have an active super factorial. All right, you're dead anyway during the end phase. Fogblade during the end phase is going to banish to summon the Rusty, which will trigger the Scales to also reborn if we have that in the graveyard, which we do. The Scales is a hard once per turn effect, reborning from the graveyard, so you make sure to trigger it during the opponent's turn, then do it again on your own turn. Super Factorial is going to be able to mess him up if used correctly. We summon the Circular, we summon the... Wait, we don't have Diameter. It actually is useless. It's trash. We have no disruption unless we draw into one with Heat Soul. Uh-oh. Oh, we got nothing. We got nothing. We actually have nothing. It could make an Exceed that's not going to disrupt. Rusty, sending a Phantom Knight, setting the Shade. Shade could summon as a level 4 non-effect monster. Denier summoning itself onto the field could be used for Levy Air. Levy Air is going to special summon a banished monster onto the field. Levy Air, I think, was one of the first Exceeds ever released. We're going to boost up that Rusty to 2,900, activating the Ragged Gloves, sending the Wing. Wing could banish and then summon a monster from the graveyard, but we're going to trigger the Scales off of the banishment of the Ragged Gloves to summon onto the field. Then we're going to Shokan into Break Sword. Break Sword to where the Rusty is pointing to, trigger its effect to pop the Super Factorial. Did not even use it. Maybe it's not usable. If you only play one Allenbert, he can't even activate it. Wow. We're now going to Break Sword, pop in the DPE, and DPE also pop another card in the field, but the Balinks is going to protect from the destruction. We're now going to make Utopic Future. Utopic Draco, right? Right? You're not attacking with it. Oh my god, what are you doing? What are you doing? Reducing the Heat Soul to 0 attack. Stealing a useless monster. Wait, you still draw off. Draw Max C? You gotta be kidding me. What the? Not quite lethal damage, giving back Heat Soul at the end of the battle phase. And as we're going into a Utopic Draco Future, Break Sword number 2, which is not a hard once per turn, going to wipe out the Heat Soul and going to Zeus. Holy, what the heck? We got Zeus, Max C, negate any monster effect. Let's go. DPE combat, also non-targeting monster poppage. Jax Leo's deck just does everything. I can't believe it. Sigma is going to special summon. If we Ash, we can't Signet mining. Okay. It's just like, what do we do? What do we do? Signet mining now dead, but at least you're not going to draw off a Max C. I mean, let's think about it. He's screwed either way, okay? This is not even a mistake. It's just the mistake was challenging Jax Leo. That's it. Not even everything in attack position. Jax Leo with the lethal damage. Let's freaking go. Wow. Wins a Meta Championship Series. $3,000 tournament. Wins Meta Weeklies. He's won 2 Meta Weeklies now. I cannot freaking believe this. What the hell? He's been playing the same deck forever. Meta Weekly. We'll look at the tier list update after this Meta Weekly. And what is the top 16 breakdown looking like? Ooh, interesting. It's looking quite diverse. Someone was asking me, what is a balanced meta of Yu-Gi-Oh? Has there ever been one? Well, I don't know, dude. When a top 16 looks like this, is that considered balanced to you? You tell me your definition of balance, because this looks quite diverse. And with that, let's hop into the deck list real quick. Top 16, Fluanderies. And, you know, this deck is still getting residual hate from back when it played a Floodgate, and it no longer plays a Floodgate. So you now have to love the birds. You have to. We got Jao Paulo with the Mathmech, pure Mathmech deck, playing the Parallel Exceed, Heat Soul, Link Disciple, but no Link Devotee. Keck Wait. All right. Very good. Good job, Jao Paulo. We now have, what the heck is this? Yuri. Yuri with a 60 card deck. It's a deck of 60 cards. It's got everything. So take a gander at that. Yep. Look at that. All right. Beautiful. And that is a deck with 60 cards. Yes. Good job, Yuri. Moving on. We have Jamer J with Floodgate with an Eldritch engine. All right. Good job, Jamer J. Floodgate, the Mad Lads. We have Pure Zodiac. Now, Pure Zodiac is like all hand traps. It's more hand traps than Zodiac. You count the cards. It should be like 2/3 of this deck. Maybe even 3/4 are all just non-Zodiac cards. It's crazy. Ultimate Slayer gets use out of this. Nice. Summoning Megaclops without Numeron. Also nice. We now have MGWR with Spiral. Spiral, a pointer of the Red Lotus. That is always a good time. You get it in the graveyard with the Curious, and then with Curious, you make the Griffin, adding back the appointer. You then look at your opponent's hand, you rip a card until the end phase, and that's usually enough to just win on top of making massive fields. Good job. We got the Illusion of Chaos helping out with the Magician's Souls. Martlet with, I would say, quite the standard Sprite Runic deck, playing triple Hyperia, no Lava Golem, triple Tactics Talents. Nice. We have Chikaboo with Live Twin, abusing the Artifact Scythe, Kisa Kill, Leela, pop it in the back row, lock your opponent out of the extra deck, and very cool. Vector with Branded Despia, 43 cards, playing Comedy, playing Dramaturge, even Psyframe Gear Gamma. Not all the Branded Despia players are playing all of those cards. All right, that is the extra deck. Let's move on. Kamina Pro does not care that the ban list semi-limited a bunch of the Runic cards. We just replaced them with, I guess, Droplet. I feel like they were not playing Droplet, and now they are. Sky Striker, Mev, 40 card clean. Look at that, triple. Okay, wow. Only one called by the grave, though. Beautiful. Double Kagari, that's kind of recent, not too recent. Node Q, one Hyperia, double Lava Golem instead of triple Hyperia. Alrighty. And, you know, they also got hit a tiny bit. Also playing Droplet, that's interesting. And here is the extra deck. We then have Justinian. What I really like about Justinian's deck is Justinian's extra deck is playing Abomination. Abomination's a good time. Pop cards during the end phase, pop cards off of you popping cards with the Flash Fire or the Runic Destruction. Really good for controlling the duel, especially against floodgates. Very nice. And then we have Enzo. Branded Despia. Fairy Tale Snow, sent to the grave with the branded fusion. Get flippin'. Alrighty, we got the comedy there. And Gold Sark for banishing the tragedy. Nice. If a Cyber monster and a Link monster is on the field, if a Sprite Elf and a Masquerena, which is the most popular end field right now, turn 1, you then super poly it up, use them up. In the draw phase, they can't chain. Beautiful. And then, in the top 2, some 50-card deck. You got a chunky deck. Salamangreat with some Math Mech. Alrighty, I like it. This is a good deck for new players to go into because most of the deck is from the structure deck. And here's the extra and a good look at the main real quick. Okay. Now, the number 1 deck, Jax Leo. Jax freaking Leo. What are the updates to his MCS winning deck? What did he update? He added in a fragile armor, which gives a 5th material to Rongo, so they can't summon for an extra turn. Main decking Rongo, by the way, instead of side decking it, because there was no side deck in today's event. And what? Konami gave you 2 Fusion Destiny and you're still playing 1. That's funny. He doesn't need it. I don't got room in my 60-card deck, Konami. Thanks, but no thanks. Wow. That's wild. And with that said, that's it. That's the top 16. Let's go.